Boxing Truth here with main events promoter Kathy DUVA. Thanks very much for the time. How are you feeling going into this fight? Sergey Kovalev's comeback. How is he mentally, physically going into this fight, coming off the fight to award?
Look, from everything I could see, he's terrific. He's clearly changed his diet. He's clearly changed some of his habits because you can't fake the way he looks. We're really not going to know, mentally he seems more relaxed than I've seen him, certainly in the last year. He's had a rough year. Since last November, he's had a really rough year. So, either you learn and you grow and you get better when you face adversity, or you fall into a hole. So I'm hoping, I believe he's gotten better. I believe that he's worked some things out and that he's going to use that and improve and get right back to where he was. And we're really not, what I believe really doesn't matter. What matters is what we see on Saturday night, so we've all got to watch. Considering
the stuff that he's going through, the lifestyle changes, a near-death experience this past summer. Interesting story, by the way.
It's a movie.
Would you be surprised if we don't see the Crusher this Saturday?
Actually, I'd be surprised if we didn't. Yeah, I think those kinds of things in life, those setbacks, are the things that make you better. I think if you never have a setback, you can't get better. I think he takes the setbacks. I think it was too easy for him before. Everything was going his way. When things stopped going his way, now he reaches a point in his life where he has to make a decision. Am I going to learn from this and get better, or am I going to cave? So let's see what he does.
This is another HBR card where there's a lot of co-promotions, a lot of people making fights together. Is it an overstatement to say that promoters can't work together, managers can't work together, fights can't be made, or?
Yeah, well, that's kind of obvious, right? Promoters and managers have to work together, because if you just try to make fights in one small ecosystem, you're not going to get the best fights. That's just logical, right? It's not possible. Everybody's got to work together. When I started out in the sport so many years ago, the idea of one promoter just making fights among their own fighters was almost unheard of. The only guy who tried it was Don King. He got away with it once in a while, but for the most part, and he could only do it in like one division. He had the heavyweights on lockdown for a while, and then one day Evander Holyfield came along and blew all that to hell for him. When Evander won the title, Lennox Lewis won the title. He tried to do it and it didn't work.
Yeah.
What works is competition, and that's what makes the sport better. It's better for the fans. It's all about competition. We're supposed to be a sport.
Assuming everything goes well with Sergey this past Saturday against Slava, what's the main goal? What's the plan? Would you guys look for an immediate unification, or perhaps settle for a top contender within the WBO rankings?
It's too soon to say. We get to work on that on Monday. We got to win first.
Is there what is it going to take to get Adonis Stevenson to the table to fight Kovalev? Is it going to be a $100 million payday, a pay-per-view fight featuring Showtime and HBO?
Look, he could have fought him so many times. We had a deal made so many times. In the end, he backed out, or his manager backed him out, or whatever it was. I do not believe at this point that Adonis Stevenson ever intended to fight Sergey Kovalev. I don't think he ever will. I was reading stories the other day about how, clearly we were at fault for walking away from the purse bid and they were backwards, because they were saying that, if Sergey had taken that, he was a free agent at the time, and then he wasn't. Well, no, actually they have that backwards. At the moment that they forced that purse bid on us, Sergey was not a free agent. Had he had one more fight, he would have been. If they had done the purse bid when they should have, things would have turned out very differently. But here's the thing. They knew. Stevenson was offered a mirror deal to the one that Sergey was offered at HBO at the same time. They knew exactly what our contract said. That offer was made at the time it was, because they knew that was the one time we couldn't comply. So all of this is, all this talk about the purse bid, I sat down after that with Yvonne 2 more times and worked out every detail of the fight. Yes, we're going to do the fight. Yes, Al says we can do the fight. Yes, and then, it has to be on Showtime. Well, you know what? I saw him fighting a lot of places other than Showtime. And it's all a load of crap, and we all know it. And if Adonis Stevenson ever grows a pair and decides he wants to fight Sergey Kovalev, as long as he's champion, Sergey would love to unify.
Is Adonis Stevenson the most irrelevant lineal champion in history?
He made himself completely irrelevant. He's not even in the the conversation anymore. We're talking about Sergey fighting, BIVOL to win the WBA title, or BETERBIEV to win the IBF title. Nobody even talks about the WBC title anymore. To me, it's over on the shelf until this guy either loses or retires. And he's 40 years old, and he could be the linear champ for 10 more years if they keep putting him in the fights they've put him in. What the hell does that prove?
Who do you think's the better matchup for Kovalev, assuming he gets past Slava? BETERBIEV or BIVOL?
Well, I like BETERBIEV just because that's a fight that has been brewing for a very long time. So that to me, it's more right. Put it that way. People's still very young.
Is it realistic that fight could happen since BETERBIEV's promotional situation is up in the air?
At the moment, no, it's not realistic for that reason. But I'm told it's going to be resolved shortly, so we'll see.
Thank you very much, Kathy DUVA.
You're welcome.
Nice to meet you.